Hey guys, what's going on? Mike the Caveman Q here again, Paleo Palm Island, MikeTheCaveman.com. Today's question is, how can you eat healthy without a gallbladder? I'm the caveman. And the answer is, with careful consideration. That really wasn't as clean as normal, right? But what's interesting is that the causes aren't exactly what you think, and the solutions probably aren't the same either. Now, gallbladder removals, or cholecystectomies, are generally performed after repeated gallbladder issues, particularly the formation of gallstones. Because those gallstones are composed of bile byproducts, cholesterol, and other lipids, and is associated with improper digestion of fats, it's easy to assume that a high-fat diet was the problem. Moreover, that is bile's primary role. It's to help with the emulsification and digestion of fats, as well as the absorption of the fat-soluble vitamins. The gallbladder, while not producing bile, is its primary storage facility. As such, issues with it and its outright removal will lead to fat malabsorption. However, a number of other factors are likely more important in the formation of those gallstones. Inadequate melatonin, which is essential in the bile breakdown process, issues with food like celiac or food sensitivities, particularly to gluten, other autoimmune conditions, as well as micronutrient deficiencies. With all of that out of the way, what should we focus on in terms of diet for those without a gallbladder? Well, as usual, you should be focusing on, wait for it, the gut. The reason being, as we mentioned before, autoimmune conditions and food intolerances are primary drivers of a malfunctioning gallbladder, and without it, you're going to need even more help. As such, you're going to want to focus on foods that aren't going to disrupt the gut. So, you are going to want to remove your grains, legumes, all dairy, unfortunately, but then it gets a little worse. You're going to want to go with the autoimmune protocol, so you're going to want to also remove things like nuts, seeds, nightshades, so things like tomatoes, peppers, eggplants. You're going to want to also potentially remove eggs. Yeah, it's pretty bad, I know. But that does not mean it's a permanent removal. What that means is you remove it short term and then reintroduce things systematically to see what are issues for you. From there, because you're not going to be able to digest the same amount of food in one shot, particularly of the fat variety, you're going to want to stay away from a strict ketogenic diet and or intermittent fasting. Those will raise the fat and volume intake respectively and could place an undue burden onto your body. However, that does not mean that we're going to go on a carb free-for-all and that all fats are off limits. Things like coconut oil could be very beneficial because the medium chain triglycerides do not require bile to be broken down. They don't need to be emulsified the same way. On the converse, you may experience issues with a high carbohydrate diet, and as such, you're going to want to keep it in a moderate range, maybe 75 to 150 grams per day, depending on your activity level. Other things, as usual, are going to be bone broth and gelatin to help heal that lining. Some fermented foods could be beneficial. But in terms of supplementation, things like ox bile, betaine HCl, systemic enzymes, particularly those containing lipase, and a quality probiotic are all going to be super important. The ox bile will help to replace your insufficient supply. The betaine HCl will help with the production of stomach acid. The enzymes will help with the breakdown of all of your macromolecules, and those probiotics will help with the increased carbohydrate load. Either way though, it's not a death sentence. There's still a lot of ways to eat a lot of healthy foods. Just focusing on your gut and getting in the right supplementation, and you'll be on your way. So the biggest takeaways are that no, it's not going to be the easiest thing, but it doesn't have to be impossible. You probably shouldn't be going on a vegetarian, low-fat diet, but you shouldn't be going crazy on towards the keto end either. You have to find that balance in the middle. You may want to play around with that autoimmune protocol to find what foods you're sensitive to, and then reintroduce the ones that you're not. Make sure your micronutrients sufficient, and to make sure you're getting an appropriate supplementation to optimize your digestive process. Coconut oils and MCT oils are going to be your best friend because you don't really require bile to digest it, and you still can eat fat. It's your liver that does the production of that bile. You're just not going to have that extra reservoir for a super fat heavy meal. Just be mindful and you'll be ready to rock. But either way, guys, hopefully that'll help you out. You know what to do. Like and subscribe down below. Share it with your friends. And over to Instagram and Twitter and follow me at Mike the Caveman, over on Facebook at Paleo Palm Island, and of course, over at MikeTheCaveman.com. That being said, have a wonderful rest of your day. Go have some good food, and I'll see you tomorrow. The answer is, stay out of the sun. I'm the caveman. Uh-oh, the FDA's finally coming for me.